All right. Welcome to the Prime Meat podcast. Prime Meat? Prime
Prime meats,
Meats.
prime meats.
With an S?
S? Yeah, I think with an S.
Yeah, there's two of us, right? Prime Meats podcast. Your hosts, Mitchell and
Ryan.
Mitchell and Ryan. And well, we've never done a podcast before. This is
No,
the first one.
we are the guys on TikTok that go, hey guys, let's start a podcast.
Let's start a podcast.
That is us. We're the basic white, well, one of us is white.
Yeah, cheers. I don't fit into any category really.
Ah, but I can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about podcasts and stuff, and then we were like, let's just start one.
Let's just see what happens.
Let's just fuck around and find out. Are we swearing on this thing?
Yeah.
We will not say. Yeah, fair.
I did
So
make
will I.
a joke about race before, so
We'll just cut out really bad words,
not that I ever say them.
like the C word, because we're Aussies.
I think we could say that.
No, it'll get us in
Monetization.
trouble on. Not even that. It'll just like not show our stuff to people.
Don't do it in the first 10 seconds.
Oh, sure. Anyway, yeah. So the goals of this podcast. What do we want to get done?
General interesting topics
Interesting
that'll
topics.
probably happen worldwide throughout the week. Talk about that, offer our opinions because
Yeah.
they're so important.
Our lukewarm takes on stuff.
Takes.
I mean, I can get pretty opinionated.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be give misinformed
Yeah, that's not what we wanna
opinions. Yeah, I've gotten people mad because I don't have the full context. They don't have an
do.
opinion.
Sit here shouting that COVID's not real. That's probably not.
Well, you know, it's a plan.
It's a plan.
I think we have to censor that out.
Yeah.
I listen to some, and like, if you say anything about it,
Yeah, so
It's
don't,
just
so
spreading.
don't give examples.
or like, it's just you talk about it and it's not completely correct, you'll get your crap flagged for misinformation spreading. Yeah, so yeah, events. We'll just talk
Sports.
shit. Sports.
Sports, we both game. We're both gamers.
We're both gamers. We're both consumers of a lot of things. We consume sport and gaming.
Music.
Music. Oh, we're gonna have a lovely, lovely chat about
Yes.
music every week. We're having a good month for music.
Yeah, Mitchell knows a lot about music. I like music. I definitely dip my toes in, but I'm a very average consumer. I don't probably
Yeah.
go into like the storytelling as much. But Mitchell's got.
Yeah, I've got my finger on the pulse. I look at all the releases.
Yeah, he's.
I throw them at people, and I'm like, "Listen to this. It's so nice."
I think it's usually pretty good takes, especially except when it's a fucking horror.
No, I gave one hardcore album once. He doesn't like horror.
Alright, well it was like 12 a.m. and we're playing League of Legends.
It was late, and
So
we were
all those
queuing.
Yeah.
It was a bad night.
Sitting there wondering if we should queue for another one if it's really worth it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, listen to this. And the game we play when we're just quiet, and every 5 minutes I'm like, you like?
You like it? I'm just like, I'm not sure if I warmed up to it yet.
The line I remember was, I'm like, this song that's on now is nice, and he's like, well, I'm not fucking with it, and and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then right after, the next thing I recommended him was like this Neo Soul, this lovely Sampha album, Process. And it was a washout of what he had just listened to.
Yeah.
It's a washout what he had just listened to.
But I enjoyed that. That was quite nice to listen to, especially I was quite angry at the games at that point, so it was nice.
About the performance.
Just gonna. Do we want to talk about? Do we both go? Oh yeah, we're both like uni students.
Oh yeah, I don't see why not. No one's gonna find us.
Fair enough.
It's an audio. Yeah, we're both uni students.
Yeah, we both study. Mitchell studies.
Yeah, I'm studying IT. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what I'm going to major in yet because there's a lot of good things to pick. And I'm like a kid in a candy. I can't make up my mind.
Fair enough. I'm doing environmental science and management. It's my third course in 3 years.
Yeah,
I
we've
I
both
do.
jumped about.
Yeah, we've both jumped about, but I think we're in something now that we both enjoy.
Oh yeah, straight. Yeah, I'm happy with where I've
definitely-
landed.
Like I
Yeah,
started in teaching, and then I realised after a year I don't really like kids that much. So, they could be pretty annoying,
Mm.
but maybe that's something for older me to do.
Yeah, it can be self-reflective.
Self-reflective.
Yeah, because when I met annoying children, it made me realize how much of an asshole of a kid I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It started to think. It gave context to when I was a kid. Oh, maybe I was a little prick.
Yeah. and that was like person. After I realized that, I felt like that was a point in maturing.
But I feel like I couldn't even get away with much at school anyway because my mum was a teacher. But your mum was a teacher.
My mum was, yeah.
Your mum was a teacher as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I would be scared shitless in like high school to
Standing out.
yeah, or like fuck about.
Oh, see,
my mum
I
would know
did all that.
instantly and should like I went to the same school that she taught at, so
Yeah.
I'm scared that she'd come down and slap the shit out of me, which probably would.
There are two kinds of teachers' children at like school. There's ones that are all behaved and like they're all behaved and perfect and they're scared to do things, and then there's ones that are bad.
No.
And I was one of the bad ones.
you were not a good guy at school.
Because like I came out of primary school being like just a class clown, a nuisance, and people like later on in high school, someone I went to primary school with, he said to me, "I miss the old you. You were so much cooler."
I miss the old Kanye.
I miss straight up, because I would just have all the snacks in my desk. I'd just have all the toys in my desk. I was just a spoiled brat of a kid. And I went to high school, and my mum taught at the same school I went to, and she would just cop all of the teachers complaining to her and all of the kids being like, "Oh, you can't tell me to behave when your son acts the way he does." Or like,
Damn.
she'd be in the staff room doing shit or eating lunch, and then they'd be like, "Oh, so-and-so, not so-and-so, no. Hey, your kid's being a little piece of work in my class," and she'll just be like, "Treat this like a normal parent-teacher relationship. You'll email me and I will email you back, and there will be parent-teacher interviews maybe."
That's a pretty responsible way of doing it.
But they'd say it to her face, and it'd just be like 24/7, "Your child's terrible."
Yeah, no, I wasn't like, I wouldn't sit in class and be like, "Yes, miss, yes, sir, I'm being a very good boy." I'd try and make jokes in the class and make them laugh. And I'd always try like make the teacher laugh or crack. And sometimes it went well. A lot of the times it was just like, "Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't. Let's just go on with the lesson," which is fair enough, I guess. But I think definitely in year 12, like I had my English and history were the same teacher, and I had her for like 3 years. But the school was scared of her because she could be very scary, but I liked her.
Oh, strict one.
She was definitely what I needed in school to achieve what I needed to.
No, I liked strict teachers.
I think they're definitely better. Like, chill teachers are good.
Chill teachers are good, but then like the class would just be annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, like we'd all be chilling out, but there would be some strict, chill teachers that the entire class would walk over them, and then it would turn into a circus. And I didn't really like those classes because it was like, it would just turn into like warfare, and people were fighting in the class.
I think, my year 11 and 12 psychology teacher, it was a class of like 30 people. It was a big class, and during it, she was a good teacher, but she just didn't really care. She was like, "Oh, if the student's not going to behave, I'm not going to bother teaching them." And I remember the class would just be full of people on their laptops playing TFT.
Yes.
And I remember one point looking over, like, one of my mates was playing Skyrim.
That's crazy.
And I was like, damn.
We didn't get down like that. We just had cool maths games.
Yeah, we had people playing Buds. It was a lot of TFT. I hate TFT so much.
I also do. But like that and Skyrim are like proper games.
Yeah.
Like if we had Steam games, it'd just be like small ass games that aren't even a gigabyte.
Oh, okay.
And they'd just be like,
I played with my mate. Oh, we'd also watch anime sometimes. That was right when all the boys were watching Naruto.
Oh, you couldn't do that in our school.
Yeah.
You'd get beaten up.
No, we were... I remember like year 10, it'd be like, "Oh, I watch anime," and be like, "What the fuck? You watch anime? That's cringe, man. You're watching hentai and shit."
Oh, don't. Oh, man.
But then, like year 11 and 12, I started to convince friends, like, "Hey, should watch this." And I'd give them their basic shows like Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, "Oh, anime kind of cool, you know?"
Yeah, that's a normal first anime. Mine was not a normal first anime.
What was the first anime you watched?
It was recommended to me by one of my friends. I need to preface this because it's bad.
Yeah.
It was High School DxD.
Oh.
which is not really anime. It's not really.
I would call it art in some
art with big quotations around it.
Art, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really just hentai, really.
Yeah, really, realistically. Well,
with like a plot.
The first one, I don't know if I'd count as I actually watched it, but on ABC3 a while ago, they had the first season of Sword Art Online.
Mm.
And I remember watching a couple episodes of that, and I was young at this point, and I was kind of just like, they're saying bad words.
Oh, they're saying bad. Is there
Saying bad words.
stuff?
There's that episode where Asuna.
Oh, I've never watched it.
She starts like undressing herself because she doesn't understand what the guy's saying.
But like, you don't see like back. Is that how they get?
Yeah, and I remember seeing that. I'm just like, oh, and I kind of stopped watching. But then I think, probably year 10, one of my friends gave me his Crunchyroll account, and the first thing I probably watched was Quintessential Quintuplets, which was such an odd. He was just like, you need to watch this.
You need to.
And I was like, okay.
Was this the man? Was this Mafu?
No, this was Carl.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. That
doesn't match with what he watches now, I don't.
Yeah, and I remember I watched it and I was like, okay, that was, I don't know, it was media to consume. As like everyone when they first start watching anime, you watch like so many shows. You watch so much and it just passes by really quickly, but you don't take in what you're watching.
It's like the normal way to watch anime is to wait. At least a lot of people will just binge watch entire seasons, and that's very standard.
Yeah. Which is there's nothing bad with watching.
No.
But if it's something that I'm really excited about and I want to like truly remember and understand what I'm watching, I watch it I do like the weekly episodes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's like part of the culture. But like it's like staying up late and finishing shit and then being tired the next day.
Yeah.
And then at that point I don't when I was watching stuff like that, I could not remember a lot of the stuff that happened in the show.
Yeah. But I think because I remember when I first watched Attack on Titan, I watched like those 3 seasons in a space of a couple days, and I couldn't remember a lot of important stuff or stuff they hinted at. And I remember I went into like the new season. I'm like, what are you talking about here? So I had to go back and watch it. And then the second time I watched it, it was very enjoyable. I actually like properly read. It's got like those mid-episode breaks, and it's got like the information panels.
Oh, yeah,
and it talks about this stuff.
How it catches you up.
Yeah, I remember I was reading that, and there's actually some important stuff in those panels.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've now since retired from watching anime. I just read stuff.
Yeah, I read. I need to read more anime. Like, I read a lot of books.
Yeah, books, yeah.
But I need to read more manga. I need to catch back up on stuff.
I need to have deadlines.
I've got deadlines. I need to read One Piece.
Yeah.
But there's just so much, and it's daunting.
It is daunting.
But then it's odd because I get excited if there's a really big book. Like some books I'm reading now, they're like more than 2,000 pages.
Yes, yeah.
And I get excited about that, but I look at One Piece and I'm daunted by it.
Yeah, I guess
I don't understand. I don't know if it's like the difference in media. Like one's pictures as well.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know if it's
pictures
that.
and words. Yeah, it's probably that.
It could be that. And then it's like I look at a show that's like Naruto, like 700 episodes.
Yeah, I can't be asked.
I don't want to go back and watch all that.
No, because and then there's people who skip all the filler, the non-important stuff. I don't like that as like as a principle because it's like this was made. I understand the circumstances that it was made because they ran out of story.
Yeah.
So they had to make up new stories. But like, just as consuming media, skipping parts that are quote not important just seems wrong to me.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I don't like watching stuff anymore.
There's a lot of Naruto filler that's tough to get through. Some of it's just rough. You don't care about. But there's like when Bleach first stopped, after the Fullbring arc, you could see why it stopped there because it was an important arc, but it was almost filler. Like there was stuff that was covered and important, but the first probably 3/4 of that arc is difficult. Like you're watching it, you're like, what am I watching? Why is this like the end of the show at the moment? But it ends. The end of the Fullbring arc's pretty cool. It's got a really cool scene with Ichigo and like the other captains, and then Thousand Year Blood War, I think definitely is the wait, and I'm happy it's being produced now with its level of animation. Like it's really nice looking. And it's just cool. Every week, every episode's sick.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Bleach. I read the first chapter and I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to finishing this.
Yeah, that's what I did because I said I was going to watch Bleach before Thousand Year Blood War, and then it was like 10 days before it released. I'm like, shit. So I just read it.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
made it really quick.
Is the read good?
Yeah, the read was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I read. It depends if I'm reading an anime or a book. Like Bleach, when I was reading it, I had the soundtrack playing as well. Like I
Yeah,
had
Ben does that
AirPods.
too.
I do that. I find it. It depends what I'm reading and
For vibes.
if I feel like it. But if say I'm going into like a sick fight,
Yeah.
I feel like the music in the background makes it really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I can see you need to have the right music in the background.
Yeah, because like Ben would tell me about he would read Berserk.
Yeah, when I'm reading Berserk, I've got like some of the OSTs in the background.
Yeah, I reckon just like no like hard, any kind of hard music for Berserk would be so sick.
Yeah, it depends on reading, but I'll have like orchestras playing. Like I don't have very like songs with lyrics in it.
Yeah.
Because then I start like I split my focus, and then it just gets a bit confusing. Yeah. So I don't choose like very like upbeat songs, if that makes sense. Like they're usually pretty depressing.
Yeah, well, Berserk's a pretty bleak show.
That light is going crazy.
Yeah, there's a light in the cave that likes partying every now and then.
Well, there's 6 lights in here, and I'm losing 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I looked at it as it flashed as well, that it blinded me.
Anyway, we've talked about anime for a bit.
Yeah.
I brought up Ben. Just we're laying down some foundations for this podcast. Ben is banned.
Yeah.
Ben is not allowed on here because he will talk. He will hog the airspace.
We love Ben. We
love Ben. Yeah, he's great.
But Ben, I think there's a couple boys that you don't want on here because
there's a couple people we probably can't bring on here because they either won't talk or they'll talk
too much
about one whole thing. Even though we did just talk for anime about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but we're the hosts. We're allowed to.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
So yeah, like we got a list of topics here.
Yeah, we've both written down lists, but
there's one that I want to get into straight away.
Okay.
Because you sent it to me and I said, "What the fuck?"
Oh shit! This could be many things. That's not a lot of things.
It was shooting cows with RPGs in Cambodia. Is it ethical?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is this?
So okay. So I believe it's Cambodia because I heard about this ages ago, and then I Google fact checked it.
Yeah.
I googled shooting cows with RPGs, and it came up with Cambodia as the first one. So I'm like, perfect. So, you know how you go on holidays and you can pay to do cool stuff like bungee jumping or skydiving?
Yeah.
You can go to Cambodia and pay. I don't think it's a lot. You can pay I'm not even going to guess the amount because it'll be wrong, but it's not a lot.
Yeah,
and
it's not as much as you think it would be.
Yeah, it's like maybe $100, $150.
Yeah, fair enough.
From me hearing about this ages ago, and you can shoot RPGs at cows.
Huh.
And I don't know if you pay per cow or per rocket. I assume it's.
I'm guessing they're living cows.
Oh yeah, they're alive.
Ah.
Yeah, and they're just in a field, and they're eating grass.
So cows are just chilling. And they watch their mate get blown up next to them.
Yeah, I don't know if the cows know that they're on the killing floor, but
well, surely even a cow would learn at that point. Oh fuck! I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, so they're definitely brought there against their will.
Yeah.
So I wrote down, is it ethical? It's definitely not ethical.
I wouldn't be interested in doing it if I went to Cambodia.
But it's like
it's an interesting.
The cows, okay, so I think when I was thinking of things, this popped into my mind, and I was like, okay, the cows are going to get brutally killed anyway. Well, not brutally killed.
I
don't know.
Well, killed.
Oh, this is a trigger warning for vegans. You should listen to this. Listen to this now. What? So the cow is going to get... How do they kill cows in reservoirs?
It's usually... It's almost like a gun, but it's like a metal pellet.
Yes.
This is what I remember from... This... Might not be the root, but they press it against the skull, and it goes straight through the brain. It kills them instantly,
like a piston.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like this metal ball flies straight into the brain.
Okay,
and it kills them.
So
it's a brutal way to die.
Yeah,
but it's not.
So
slaughtering them.
I don't know. There's semantics. It's like, okay, we just killed this thing very instantly in its brain. I assume instantly.
Yeah, I assume that's right.
And then now we're going to take its corpse and cut it up and sell it to people.
Yeah.
So the other hand is we could instantly kill it with a rocket. and then its pieces will fly everywhere.
Yeah, and then but you've got one side is killing it for food and sustenance,
Yeah.
and then the other's just for
Killing
fun.
it for entertainment. That would be cool to do. It'd be like shooting an RPG at a house.
Yeah, I can see it's like destroying stuff is fun. Like it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
this
destroy.
is-
And this one's more like if you're in a gore, this one's sick because it's
I'm not into
entrails flying
Yeah,
everywhere.
but I'm not into gore. I can't do blood.
Well, like imagine like the RPG, the explosion is hot enough that it cooks the cow,
Damn.
and a cooked steak lands like some
So-
prime meats in your
I
lap.
was gonna say, so you got some prime meat. Oh,
I mean, it probably wouldn't be that prime. Really, like for the if they're bred to get shot RPGs out, they probably don't.
I feel like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be good for you to eat.
What?
It wouldn't be good for you to eat.
No, because it wouldn't be cooked properly, but it would be singed.
And then, surely there's some chemicals on that rocket, or would it just instantly be vaporized? The
I don't
chemicals would be
know. I did well in
vaporized.
chemistry, but I don't remember anything.
I didn't really do. I do chemistry now,
Hmm?
but
Okay. I
in
thought
some
you were
sense,
gonna-
but like,
yeah.
it's very basic. It's more Earth
Yeah, okay.
chemistry, if that makes sense.
Because like
Photosynthesis.
it explodes, and then I don't know. I guess it depends what the explosive is.
Yeah, but honest. So it's a thing that happens, and
It is a thing that happens.
it's not ethical, but like, hey, I can't go
I
over
kinda
there and
just
stop
wanted to-
them.
Yeah, true. You can't. Oh my god, you can't go and stop them. There was this lady at uni who was handing
We
out
can
end
leave that.
CCP. No, we'll keep this in.
Keep this in.
She was trying to hand out end CCP flyers,
Okay.
and I'm like, lady, you doing this isn't gonna do anything. You're just fear mongering the Chinese Communist Party upon Australians.
Which is already a pretty fearmonger. It's pretty touchy subject in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're friends. Wait, are we still friends with you?
I wouldn't say we're friends.
We were friends when a while ago, no?
But I think it's almost the whole world is kind of a bit cautious around China,
Yeah, well,
which
yeah.
is understandable. But like,
Because I'm worried about what's going to happen when their economy crashes because it's going down.
yeah, and
It's going down badly.
we rely on their economy quite a bit.
Yeah, they are like
Well,
the
they
second
had-
biggest in the world, eh?
They had that housing crash last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So people, I'm not a finance guy.
No.
Our friend could probably talk about this very
Yeah,
in depth.
but
but-
then he gets a bit boring when he starts.
He does get. Oh, when he gets on the drinks, bro.
Yeah, and he just starts.
He just-
Stocks.
I
Just tell me how to make.
care. Like he suggests me like sound ways to invest, and I'm like, great. And I still remember them.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you give me. But when he starts getting
And then he gets deep.
deep with it, and I'm like, I don't care as much.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the housing, there's a lot of people who have paid for houses, and they're just concrete and rebar, and they're not getting finished. And there's just like rows and mazes upon rows
But we'll talk about that.
of just
Because
unfinished housing.
It's like Detroit, like the outskirts of Detroit. How you've got all those just abandoned suburbs.
Projects. I don't know if that's the correct word.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're called. Probably projects.
They were the unfinished projects.
Yeah, well, they got the finished ones, and people lived out there in like the 70s, and then
In the bandos.
when Detroit had a lot of money, and then it kind of fell apart, and then you've got all those like just abandoned suburbs out there, and a really big homeless population, and the housing there is really cheap. Like you can buy houses out
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere in Detroit.
Wasn't Detroit's thing like automotive?
Yeah, it was a big, but it's
Sort of like how mining was big in some places here, and now
Yeah.
they're just ghost towns.
we've also got. When I was looking at Detroit, because I was watching a movie with some of the boys, a horror movie with some of the boys last night called Barbarian.
Barbarian.
And it's set out in that bit of Detroit where it's just like all the abandoned houses.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Nordic.
No, it has nothing to do with Nordic. It's kind of just like it's not a terrible horror movie. I wouldn't call it like the first half of it is really good, and then the second half it's just odd.
They fumble.
Like it's not made by a really big studio, so the CGI on it is a bit interesting to look at.
But like that's permissible if the story's
Yeah,
good.
but but it's very when you're getting like a full shot of this monster running at you,
Oh, and
and
it's
it looks odd how it's moving.
yeah, it pulls you
Like
out.
not in like a kind of creepy way, in like just of how it's like animated. It's like, oh, that's just a bit funny.
Yeah, it pulls you out of horror movies. When
Like it makes you laugh instead of because there was like one scary bit in it where I actually like jumped and I jumped twice because I jumped at the scary point, but then I jumped because I jumped. If that makes sense, like I scared myself after I got scared. I don't know how. But I can't do. I love the adrenaline from horror movies and games, but I can't do it. Like
I've seen you play a horror game before.
Yeah, I like Outlast. Like when I played Outlast for half an hour, it was like
on it.
I was freaking out. I was thinking
It looked like found footage.
it was one of those red rooms.
Yeah. Okay. I was shooting for like someone finds like a USB on the ground, and this is the last recording of like a camcorder.
Yeah, like Blair Witch should be.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, I was probably losing my mind in the same way as the Blair Witch.
Well,
anyway, so on the topic of talking about scary supernatural stuff or scary stuff, did you see what happened in Mexico?
a lot of things happened in Mexico. Oh, that
That was odd.
Well, I've only seen the images, and I know that aliens have been like I don't know many details.
Yeah, well, because you had the U.S. Congress. Was it Congress?
I don't know.
Talking about aliens are real.
Okay, yeah. So they've been sitting on this for a while, I assume.
And it's like I don't not believe in aliens. I believe like there's no way that the universe is this big and there isn't other life.
I mean, statistically it's possible.
Yeah, well, I think there is definitely maybe not like Hollywood aliens, like actual like creatures, or maybe like bacteria.
Yeah, there's definitely living
like cells around. Like that's definitely a thing. But then you see the bodies of these aliens, and I just don't think they're real. Like it easily could just be something a deformed birth of something, or just a mummified corpse that looks a bit odd.
Yeah, but it's like you saw them, right?
Yeah.
What I picture is like probably not true, but like funny in my head is just like those people who make amusement parks out of aliens.
Yeah.
And like there's those just towns that their whole shtick is aliens.
Oh yeah, the alien, like an alien town. We got alien stuff.
Imagine one of their mannequins just falls off the back of their like truck.
Someone would find that. And be like, holy
my
shit,
God.
it's a fucking alien.
Because it's like for them to fully believe that thing they have as an alien is they've probably seen it alive and it died and they kept its corpse.
But do they fully believe it? Are they just doing something like, yep, we've got an alien, like it's like just for some
No, I'm pretty sure people in those towns hard believe it.
But is the government lying about it?
I don't know what they'd have to gain. Is this just to make the conspiracy? No, this doesn't help them at all, I don't think.
Is it to take attention away from bigger things?
Yeah.
Happening?
Yeah, something could be happening right now.
And they're taking attention away from it.
Yeah, they do that. They do. Them and the news like to do that.
I simply don't
put my tinfoil hat and tell you.
Yeah, I've got a tinfoil hat on and I'm saying...
They love doing misdirection.
Those are not aliens. I believe that.
It's like paper mache.
Yeah, they just...
An alien looks so much cooler. Imagine like, okay, human corpse. Imagine alien die and it like glows in the dark or something.
Oh, that'd be
sick.
Like a glowworm?
I don't know. Like they have to be unique.
Yeah, they have some... Sure.
Like imagine they die and their body just returns to sender and goes back to their home planet.
Yeah, like
they're smart enough to have something like that.
Like Goku instant transmission.
Is that something it does? I'm only up to episode 4 of Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, you're watching the original, like probably
Dragon
Ball when it was like about the Dragon Balls.
About the actual because they seem to be finding them really quick, and I don't know how they could have so many series about it.
Yeah, it stops being about like the Dragon Balls, really.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And about like because then it goes into like a martial arts like fighting show, which it still is. But it's not actually this point about like fighting techniques. Yeah. It's like who has the strongest power up.
No, I'm only watching it because I was sitting around doing my coding stuff, and I was like, I want some old school anime just on the telly.
Yeah, that's
just to have on, just as like a fireplace.
That's why I need to get a second monitor again.
Yeah.
For my computer because my first one broke. So. There's some, like, I'm playing a game by myself, like a single-player game, and, like, I want something else in the background apart from, like, just music. Like, Space Engineers.
Of course. God. Like, no, I've seen someone play it.
Like, yeah, I need, like, when I was playing with Ben,
It seems
I
monotonous.
needed a movie in the back. Like we were watching the new Transformers movies, or the most recent ones that are not great. Well, I had never watched Transformers until this year.
Yeah, same. And whenever I tell them, like, we have a couple friends who love Transformers and they grew up on it.
Yeah,
When I told them I've never watched it, they're like, it's like as if I just committed the blasphemous crimes.
yeah, and then
They're like, oh my god, how?
they're like, it's so good. No, don't get me wrong. The first two,
Yeah, no. It's so nostalgia coded, bro.
like I watched them and I would go like, this is an absolute piece of art.
Like, it's an action
It's just
movie
cool.
for
It's
kids.
just, like,
It is cool. Yeah.
When Optimus Prime goes, "I'll take you all on," that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's a goosebumps moment.
That's like, yeah, okay. And then you got one man alone, betrayed by the country he loves. That's just funny. That's just like a little,
Yeah.
a little fun, a little comedic clip.
Comedic clip.
But yeah,
Anyway.
movies that you watched. Yeah,
Have I watched?
I still haven't watched Oppenheimer.
Neither.
Or Barbie.
Because,
Well, I started watching Barbie on a,
oh, this guy.
and
This guy.
let's say I got maybe 20 minutes into Barbie. I think that might be a movie that you need to watch with a bunch of people. Because I was watching it by myself, and like there was bits that I would laugh at, but I wasn't laughing at the jokes or the bits that were supposed to be funny. I was more laughing
Oh,
at the ridiculousness of some bits.
kind of like.
I think it could be a very good movie, but I don't know if I could like watch it by myself
So, like,
and find it entertaining.
when it's played for a general audience, kids and adults will laugh at different points.
Yeah.
Similar, so this is like groups will laugh at different points to just you, like a single person.
Yeah, like I'm mad I didn't go and see Oppenheimer in IMAX when I had the...
Yeah, we are going to have to rent out one of the places for 3 hours.
Because I think if, like, a
To make it
Christopher
good.
Nolan film, got to watch it on IMAX.
Yeah, because I was pumped to watch it for so long, and then got the information that it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I need to put out time for this. And then whenever we were on holidays, and we were gonna watch it as a group, and then we get to the movies and we're like, movie time, and we're like, oh, it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
We could do so much other things on this holiday than sit in one place for 3 hours. We can watch it when we get home. And then I didn't get to watch it when we were at home because I was at work when everyone else went
Yeah,
to
that's
watch it.
the thing. Is like when it's holidays, like a uni break, I will work more because
Yeah.
I need money.
You need to make bands.
And then it's like, oh, go see it now. I'm like, oh, I'm working.
Yeah, I love that. I love whenever there's an event and I get told about a day of, and it's like, bro, I can't blow off. I'm on a contract, man.
Yeah, I can't.
You have to tell me about this in advance.
And then budget, there was like probably 2 points, which is my own fault at this point for not going with them. Like there was
Oh, but
maybe
you
1 or 2
declined?
points where they're like, oh, you want to come? And it'd be like I was doing something. But
Yeah,
it wasn't that important. Like I could, or there was one I just couldn't be bothered.
Mm.
Which, yeah, my own fault at that point for not going. But it's like there's times where I get asked, like, "Oh, do you want to go do something?" And I just can't be asked to go do it.
right.
But-
Yeah, Oppenheimer. I don't know if I'm ever going to see it at this point. I'll have to
yeah.
see it eventually.
I need it. But I keep getting the sound from it, like one of the OSTs from it on TikTok.
Or is it nice and orchestral?
It's a really intense one.
Classic?
It's like you would have heard it. But
Wait, is it like the Dance of the Nights? Is it like the Papers, Please? Is it like bomb, 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 bomb?
it's kind of like that.
Never mind.
I can't think of it now, like how it sounds. If that makes sense.
okay.
But I hear
You
it.
know
I'm
it when
like,
you hear it.
Yeah, because it was the one that was playing in the trailers.
Oh, sort of.
Yeah,
No, yeah, okay. I get the gist.
like it wasn't really orchestra. It was more of like a beat. I'm not sure.
Okay,
If
now
that,
you've lost me.
yeah, I'm not sure if that makes as much any more sense than what I said.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about something I saw, and it's going to lead into something that I thought about.
Okay.
So I'm driving. My sister and her friends in the car. I'm like doing lifts, running errands,
Fair enough.
and we're stopped at like a big intersection. And across, drives in front of me, is this car that has like it's a white car with red accents on it,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like on the front, on the bumpers of both the front and the back, and along the hood in cursive fancy writing it says Malbulen, It's designed to look like a Marlboro cigarettes box, and it says Marlboolan on the front. And I laugh, I freak out, and I laugh, and I'm like, gonna take a photo. Oh shit! No, I said her name. Take a photo, quick. And then her and her friend are just like sitting there, and they're puzzled as to why this car was so interesting to me. And I'm just like, they're like, why? And I'm like, oh, it's hilarious. And then I was just like, and then I explained to them why I thought it was funny, and they didn't understand why I thought cigarettes were funny.
Yeah, it's an interesting car design. Like, well, Marlboro did a lot of, well, in America they do a lot of NASCAR sponsoring, or they did.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably themed after that.
Yeah, I didn't know I thought Marlboro car was their invention. I didn't know that they sponsored cars.
Well, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, they like they do a lot of NASCAR like sponsoring, and they probably do other sports. But I think that's probably what it's themed after. But that is in Australia, far north Queensland, have a car.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm just like, oh, they're just, and it was just like a bunch of guys our age in it, and I'm like, oh, they're just running around in this shit box.
In a cigarette car.
Yeah, in this cigarette mobile. And I'm just like, and then they don't understand why I'm reacting like this. And then I'm like, okay, fine. And I'm so mad I couldn't take a photo of it because I'm driving, and like, So then I start thinking about why in my head are cigarettes funny? They kill people. I'm like, the idea of cigarettes and all the branding around them and like the history, it's just hilarious to me. But then when I walk past like an old man, like just smoking at like the bus stop, I'm just like, you poor man.
You poor.
Oh, I feel so sad for you. It's like, yeah, cigarettes funny. The act of smoking them can be funny. People who are horribly addicted to them, not funny.
Not funny.
And it's just like, man, if only they weren't so terribly addictive, they could be cool.
Like, yeah,
They could be a luxury item that you have sometimes. And
well, that's what cigars are.
yeah, but cigarettes are.
But
they used to be a point of status,
yeah,
and like they used to be a luxury item, and now they're just.
And it used to be like, oh, you were cool if you smoked cigarettes, but now it's just like...
Yeah, at least... Okay, I'm happy that now cigarettes are losing their coolness.
And now it's vapes.
Now, yeah, which is bad too.
I don't think vapes are probably as cool as cigarettes were, because there's still a lot of like people go like, you're sucking on a piece of plastic there,
Yeah,
mate.
you are sucking it. It's the idea that a big cloud comes out of your mouth and you're like a dragon.
Yeah, and I guess I can see why, vapes are more appealing, because they taste better.
Yeah, they have flavours.
Yeah.
And
They're
it's
just
so dumb because...
The raw nicotine.
It just starts off as... Well, there's many in ways. And then it just becomes an addiction.
Well, because you like legally in Australia, you can't have vapes with nicotine in them, but
They still get
yeah,
here.
they're pretty. Then you've got plenty of vape shops in Australia that sell the liquid without nicotine in it. And I know people that have those, and I'm like, well, what's the point of it?
What is the point?
At that point,
you should
you're just sucking on flavored water.
Yeah.
Vapor. That's odd.
Yeah, it is odd. And it's like, have you seen the videos of like people recording themselves on their journey of quitting nicotine?
Yeah.
It fucks you up.
Yeah, it's a horrendous.
Like, I went no coffee for 2 weeks and I felt a little different, but I did not and that's also a stimulant that you could say is addictive.
I would say caffeine is addictive.
Yeah. And it's like, it is not even close to what the people who try to quit nicotine.
Yeah, like I have a shit time when I stop drinking coffee for a couple of days because I get like headaches and stuff. Or I can't imagine like you're trying to get away from nicotine, what that would be like at that level. Does that make sense? Because I struggle with coffee. So it's a good thing I don't smoke.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, I can get off coffee pretty easily. It actually makes me feel fine. Like, I feel very good. Because, like, when I don't even know how to explain it. I feel normal. I feel clean. Yeah. But then I also feel that way when I drink coffee. So I guess it doesn't do anything.
I just haven't, because I struggle to be motivated in the morning. And morning's like, well, when I'm like, oh, I should go to gym or I should go to uni at this point. And if I don't have a coffee, I'm like, I cannot be fucked to do this. Does that make sense? But yeah.
Fair enough.
And I guess probably if I probably just had like a good meal in the morning, I just have Weet-Bix, which is good, but like probably something that's more nutritiously diverse.
No, just chuck some fruit in there.
Yeah, could do that. I probably would feel
Chuck some fruit in
more
there, a bit of
motivated,
squeeze of
depends.
honey maybe.
An experiment I'd have to try. I'll do that. I'll do that before next episode. I won't have coffee in the mornings, and I'll have
I'm not going to make it out alive, buddy.
Start throwing hands.
Yeah. No, there are people who like that. I don't know. Coffee's part of the routine.
Yeah, but I've got a lot of friends. A lot of boys we know don't drink coffee.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, caffeine, it's the devil. I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, that's how Mum used to describe it to me. Caffeine is the devil. If you drink it before a certain age, you will stop growing tall. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, I guess. You must have drank the coffee early. You're short. But, yeah.
My parents were never against like coffee. Well, because Mum would be like, yeah, they both drink a lot of coffee. Like, yeah, when I was a kid, they'd be like, yeah, maybe don't have coffee.
Yeah.
But then, like, when I got old enough, like, probably in like my teens, probably like 14, 15, they were just like, yeah, okay, you can have coffee if you want. I don't care. But they were like, they were very against energy drinks.
Yeah, because it's like mainline a lot.
Like, I didn't have my first like Red Bull or Monster until I was like 17, 18. And I had that, and I was like, it was kind of like drinking at underage party. I was like, ooh, I'm having a
energy drink.
And if like I bought some home, I would like hide them.
Yeah.
Like I would have them warm because I would hide them in my room. And it was so.
They taste worse.
But then like
when they're warm.
But then like your parents find out. So that's stuff. Your parents find out.
Yeah.
And really, so that's not really that big of an issue. Like they're not going to care.
No.
Like if I was a young kid, yeah, I could see why they'd be angry. Be like, stop that. But now, like being 20, they're like, you can choose. Yeah. But it'd be like if I was smoking now, and they found out, they would not be happy.
Yeah. No, but like, yeah, banned contraband. What am I saying?
Oh, damn.
Parents saying you can't, like, I couldn't have Coke for so long because it had caffeine in it.
Oh, okay, no, my parents weren't that extreme. It was just like energy drinks. That Powerade and Gatorade, like that was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just salty water with stuff in it.
It's got a little bit, Bungie. It doesn't have that much caffeine.
Well, there's caffeine in that?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
You're kidding?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there's a little bit. I'm like 99% sure there is.
Alright,
I could be wrong.
It has a long laundry list of crap in it.
So then I remember talking about things my parents had banned. I remember one time when I was a kid, and it was like when we still had like the family iPad. You know that? And I remember the first time we got an iPad, and I was like watching YouTube, and I was watching Minecraft Let's Plays, and I was watching do you know Yogscast?
Yeah,
do you remember them?
Yeah.
I remember I was watching it, and then they would like swear in their videos. I'd be like, oh, it's so cool, swearing in YouTube videos. And I remember one time my dad walked in, and I wasn't wearing like headphones or anything, and the guy swore, and he was like, "What are you watching? Don't watch that!" And like took the iPad off me, and blocked the Yogscast.
Blocked the Yogscast.
And or blocked. They put like the YouTube, the family friendly, like YouTube Kids. I think that was the thing at that point. I think there was some
like a filter
restriction on it. And it's funny because even now, if I watch, like, for some reason a Yogscast video pops up, I'll watch it and all I can think about is that memory, and it makes me laugh. And then, have you seen... Fuck, what is it? I've had a complete blank. What was I saying? Swearing? Oh! And then another thing, talking about swearing in videos. This was a couple years later. I was probably like 16 at this point, and I was having like a boys' sleepover. I know that sounds riveting. There's just a bunch of boys, and we play like Call of Duty Zombies together, just at my house. And I was watching a video with headphones on this time, and this was during Destiny 1. And this guy, there was a sniper rifle you could get from this guy, like it'll drop from this guy. And this guy would be like, yeah, you've got to do all these dances and stuff if you want to get the weapon. And I remember he did like all these like dances and like bullshit steps.
Yeah.
And it dropped for him. Like he got the sniper. I remember it dropped and I went, that's fucking bullshit. And I didn't realize my dad was standing next to me in the room with all my friends. And he looked at me. He pulled one of the headphone cups aside and like slapped it against my head.
Whoa.
And it still gets brought up against like all my friends. And they're like, you swore in front of your dad. You got in trouble.
That's crazy.
And it was like, yeah, that was a memory. Like I used to be very I don't swear around my parents that much. But
No, me neither.
they've brought up recently they can hear me play League of Legends.
Yeah, they can hear
And-
they can hear you get into it.
Well, I'm not as loud as I used to be.
There are some times when you will get loud.
Yeah, but I'm not overall. I'm like probably in the past week or two. I'm not as loud.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not as like screamy because like I will scream at that game. Apart from that, yeah.
What is it? Oh, so my similar to that was I would listen to music when there was iTunes.
Ah,
So I would have to it was back when streaming wasn't really a thing. So I'd have to come to the parents with the phone and be like, "Please, may I have this song?"
I have the soul.
And all they would care about is if it had that stupid E next to it.
Oh, the explicit E.
Yeah, so I crafted my playlist it was so dumb expensive to make the playlist out of $2, $1 songs.
They were expensive songs on. Like they were expensive to buy the song.
It would have been a good time to have been in the business back then because they were making
you would
a
be
lot
making
more money.
But there's
Oh,
Did you ever like if your parents' credit card was hooked up to like your iPod or something?
yes. Yeah, I
And
know
you
exactly what you're about to say.
Like Clash of Clans, you buy Clash of Clans gems,
Oh, no. So,
or you'd buy stuff on iTunes, and you didn't think
Mm.
about like that they would see it on it, and then they'll come into your room maybe like a week later. They're like,
hey,
$15,
$15.
$15 on Clash of Clans.
No, I didn't spend money, but what I did was you even had to put in the password for free stuff. So
Yeah.
like I would get them to put in the password for something, and then so if you put in your password, there would be a time window where you don't have to put it in again.
Yeah.
So I'd get them to do that, and then I'd like download all of the crap I wanted to buy, all the free stuff I wanted to download, and I'd be like, yes, this is next level brain thinking. But back to it. So I'd have all these songs, and there was a song that wasn't. It was Black and Yellow by was it Kodak? Wiz Khalifa,
Khalifa,
Black
yeah,
and
that's
Yellow,
it.
and it wasn't flagged, so I was able to get that.
Yeah.
So we were in the car, and I had the aux, and Black and Yellow starts playing, and he just says like, "fucking bitches" in a single line once.
Yeah.
So it's playing, and they're like, "Ah, yes, Wiz Khalifa, yes," and then they're like, "Ah, we fucking bitches," and then they're like, "Whoa," and then they skip it, and then they're like, "Mitchell," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Do you know what those words mean?" And I'm like, "No, he just says them." And then we like get out of the car. Like we don't stop the car and get out. It's like when we get to our destination, we get out. And they're like, "All right, none of that. Delete that song." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "Those words, don't say them." I'm like, "Okay." And then I was just like, I played it all off. And I was like, but to be fair, I didn't know what those words
Yeah.
meant.
But you just knew they were
I knew there were new words I hadn't heard before,
new words I hadn't heard before.
which was a lot of the words in that song. I hadn't heard a lot of the words in that song. So that's I don't know. They were very chill about the swear words because I didn't actually say them.
Also, never really, if there's swear words in songs, they didn't care as much, unless it was just profane to the point of like if they just kept on, like they were just
Like
swearing.
the story of OJ.
Yeah, like they were just swearing for the sake of swearing. They'd be
Oh.
like, well, what's the point there?
Yeah, okay.
Like, but my parents were like, if they said like,
If it's
The
emotional
odd one
and
there.
I felt the swear.
or like made sense in the context, they'd be like, oh yeah, okay. But I would always still be like worried, like if I was playing something for the family and it'd have a swear word in it. I'd always be like, am I gonna get in trouble here?
Yeah.
Really pushing the boundaries. But nah, I don't know about talking about swearing and like inappropriate stuff for kids. In year 7, my mum had me watch the first season of Game of Thrones, and I remember when I was in year 7, mum was like, "I think you'll like Game of Thrones."
Oh, okay. You're like had me watching. I'm like, what the fuck?
she was like, watch it. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And I remember I watched it, and I was in year 7. I'm like, what the hell is this? There's sex and murder in this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember I was talking about it at school to like my friends, and a teacher called me, and they're like, why are you watching that show? That's so inappropriate. And like they went to my mum about it. They're like, how come you're making your son watch this? And she's like, it's just a show. Like, it's not like... And I found that very interesting. And then, like, I can't watch swearing on YouTube. But I can watch someone get brutally raped in a TV show. Some interesting double standards there. But I guess Game of Thrones is more realistic.
It is. Well,
That makes... But it, like... the rape in that is
yeah, that was it was true to real life.
is
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
in those times.
In medieval times,
people were getting raped.
yeah, because they were just pieces of meat.
Primates.
Primates.
Primates. That one.
That's a zinger. Alright, hold up.
Zinger box.
I want to get away from this topic.
Yeah, get us away from
Oh, okay, yeah. We were talking to our friend, and he was like, "Oh, it's X numbers of weeks to Christmas."
15 weeks. 15 Sundays until Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a...
I'm just like, yeah, that's how time works.
That's
That's what I told him. And he's like, no, but it's like 15 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, there's 52 weeks in a year.
He gets really excited about Christmas.
Okay, I really get excited.
I like Christmas.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I like Christmas.
I like Christmas.
Yeah.
But I think, oddly enough, I think in a way I enjoy it more now than I did as a kid. But I think that's probably because I just get absolutely plastered on Christmas Day. Like, Christmas last year, like, I drank with my family during the day and then I went to a Christmas party in the evening.
Yeah, that's a
and
charge.
I blacked out in my friend's bathroom and vomited all over his downstairs bathroom.
Oh.
And
yeah, that's real.
I got picked up by my sister and I only had like a towel around my waist because all my clothes were covered in vomit.
Jesus.
And she was just like, what the hell happened to you? And I'm like, take me home. Get me out of here. That's fun. Do you still... So yeah, you don't find Christmas that exciting anymore?
No, the note I wrote down. So the note I wrote down right after is Christmas is lame. Like at this, so I'm past the stage where I'd get a bunch of presents in a Santa sack.
But I think I get less presents. Like I might get one or two, but I feel like they're more meaningful.
Yeah, I get meaningful presents, but like the whole when I was young, the whole idea of Christmas is boom, presents, and then we get to go to Tasmania and go on a holiday and chill out. And now it's like more of a, I don't know, it's kind of like a chore. I enjoy the dinner and the hanging out with the family.
Yeah.
But then doing all of the festivities just seems like
it can be such a draining day.
It's like we are humans and we are people and we will do Christmas. And it's like, these are the things we must do. And I'm like, I'd just rather chill out.
If you're hanging out with like your extended family for like a couple days,
that's nice.
That's fun, but it can be very just like, I'm
overwhelming.
I'm sick of my cousin or something.
Oh no, I don't get that. We don't do that much anymore.
I don't have the I never had the stereotypical like younger cousin. I've never experienced that.
Oh,
because all my cousins are like
older
30.
than you?
Yeah, because my dad's the youngest. So all my cousins are like late 20s, 30s, and it's always like I never had that. I was the annoying younger cousin. I was the like little shit. They'd be like, "Can I play on your Xbox? You got any games on your phone?"
You got any games on your phone?
But no, it's like I enjoy Christmas. I also like working around Christmas. Oddly enough, like it's hectic, but the money because there's so many like little public holidays around that time.
Oh yeah,
it's like you can just make money, and usually work's funner because people are in a happier mood.
Yeah,
like.
Secret Santas at workplace are fun.
We had a work Christmas party last year. It was like right at the start of December. It was at a bowls club, like Barefoot Bowls. And I was thinking, I don't know why I thought this, but me and two other guys that work there were like, oh, we'll dress up in some shit Christmas gear. So we went to like Lowe's and got like the button-up polo and like the shorts that match. It was like this purple
of like the with the designs on them.
Yeah, it was like purple and it had like reindeer on it, like it was shit. We were all three of us wore the exact same outfit, and then we got to the Christmas party and no one else was dressed up. They were all wearing,
you're a group, so that flies.
But it was like everyone, and these were people that we work with, and it's a big company, so there's people there that I've never met before, and there's like the big bosses are there. And I remember I got to the Christmas party and we all wearing this stuff, and I was just like, I've just got to start drinking now. and I got
just to power through.
Hammered, and I like blacked out. And one of the people I work with had to like drop me home and stuff.
That sounds like a victorious Christmas party.
Good. But then I got home and I had a bottle of milk with me, and I put it on my bedside table, and it fell off the bedside table and like spilt all over the floor. And I didn't realize till the next morning.
That's worse than what I imagined you was about to say.
Like warm milk, like that smell of like warm milk, like just.
Plus the vomit that's like
just
floating around.
And it was just like, lovely.
Holy, I thought you were going to be like, oh, I left it out and it's spoiled. That would be a lot better than spilling it all over the floor.
Yeah, much rather because that is contained in the bottle. Have you drank spoiled milk?
Yeah, not on purpose.
Yeah, obviously not on purpose, but it's disgusting. Like it.
Yeah.
I remember it was like maybe 2 hours before pub crawl, and I was like, I need to have something to eat, so I made a bowl of Weet-Bix at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, which is I eat Weet-Bix at all times of the day. I love it. I love it.
Fair enough.
And then I remember I like took a sip of the milk, and I just purged every ounce of nutrients in my body.
Yeah.
Because it was spoiled. Because I like sipped it, and I felt chunks. And I was like, that's not right. And then I looked, and it was like 2 or 3 days out of date, and I threw up all in the garden.
Wait, after you saw the date?
Yeah, after I saw
Did the date trigger more of a throw-up response?
Yeah. Because the date gave it context.
Yeah.
If that, like, normal chunky milk isn't good, and I probably would have been sick, but I think just realising it was, like, a couple days off is what made me throw up.
Well, those dates sometimes I think are lies.
Yeah.
Like, Mum will buy the light milk where they suck all the milk fat out of it. And it just tastes like water. That never changes its smell. I've had, like, it'll be a week out and it'll still smell and look identically the same and taste identically the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Full cream does go off.
Yeah, full cream like curdles, and it's like
I think the longest I've gamed out of that was like a day or two.
I don't even risk it.
You don't even risk it.
Sometimes if it's even of like it's the day that it goes out, I'm like hell no.
Well, and then whenever I read that and in my head I'm like best before. Okay, so today doesn't count.
Yeah, if I like read it, I'm like this is
That's fair enough.
It's probably a big waste of milk, but
it is a big waste of milk. But they make more money because you have to buy more milk.
But I drink a lot of milk.
Just imagine they put a date forward, just so people like you buy more milk.
That would be
Big
smart,
Milk's big scheme.
But does that break the Australian consumer law?
I don't know. If they're all in cahoots about it, then it can't possibly be that bad for them. Like the chocolate trade.
The chocolate trade.
Yeah, like they all just agreed to pick. They all pay. Oh, what was it? They all offered the same price or something for the workers. So I don't know the term for it, but all of like the people who are using the Ivory Coast for chocolate, they're all just like, this is how much it costs. So they got to choose the price and not the workers.
Oh.
Or something like that. It's like monopolizing it, kind of. I can't remember the exact word.
So it stays at that rate even with inflation and like...
Well, no, it's more like they exploit the workers. So there's the market isn't competitive.
Yeah, I guess if you're working that, you're not worried more... You're worried more about living and like having enough money to feed your family than house prices.
Yeah.
Well, you probably think about house prices, but it's not at the forefront of your mind.
No. You probably are more worried about the bugs in the chocolate fields killing you or something.
Yeah.
Whatever there is.
There's probably more immediate risks.
Yeah, but it's so... Yeah, they're like, we will pay... Oh, that was it. They're like, we will buy it for this much. And then these people who selling the... It's like their livelihood. It's like, well, we can't argue with... And we can't unionize. Let's see. We can't do shit. So we're just going to get paid...
They just have to...
Yeah. So they'd buy it for very cheap, and then they'd mark it up insanely. And they'd be getting all that net positive on it.
Talking about those market things, a couple days ago I was thinking about what am I going to talk about on this podcast? So I turned the radio on.
Oh yeah, so we get some news going.
And I went to, do you know that Christian radio station?
Why don't you go there for news?
Sometimes they say some interesting things.
Alright, tell me what they said. What did they say?
But they're talking about how the US dog treat market was valued at $36.1 billion in 2021.
Okay.
That is insane.
That is insane. And then
I turned it off after I heard that because I'm like, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Okay. So...
Yeah, because that is...
Okay, I think this helps stem from how crazy the shops are in there.
Yeah, they do have huge... But even just dog treats, like, that's not including, like, dog food and dog toys.
Oh, right, it's just treats.
Like, this is just treats. That is... Like, there's a big population in America. What is it? 300? More than 300 million?
Do you want me to Google it right now?
Yeah, see, I think I want to say 360. 339 million. So
Yeah.
340 million.
Probably gone down after COVID.
Yeah, but
No, never
probably,
mind. It's still been increasing.
Yeah, well, I feel like
Oh,
rate
the
of
amount it's been
deaths-
increasing, it has slowed down, yeah.
Yeah. But that is, like, Australia's only 24 million.
Really?
Yeah, we're only... Oh, we
I
could be...
would
we're
have
probably
thought
more.
that'd be less.
Yeah, we're only like the 20s. And so, to have just dog treats, and it's just like, who are the top... Who are the CEOs of dog treat companies, and they're making fucking millions.
Wait, is this in profit or like their worth?
It is profit.
Oh, wow.
So if this uni thing doesn't work out, we go to America and we start a dog treat company. Because, like,
Yeah.
that's some money.
All right, so have you compared the dog treat market to anything else?
No, I just heard the numbers and I'm like,
Yeah, because I think they make so much because there's like there's lots to I don't even know what it would be. Maybe it's a cheap thing to produce.
it can't be that expensive because usually it's like the offcuts of animals that humans don't eat. Like
Oh, that is
pig ears,
super cheap. Often cheap as
hooves.
fuck.
Yeah, so
So
it'd be really cheap to produce and then they sell it because treats are pretty expensive. Like they can be like, well, not like
not expensive.
ridiculous, but for like what you're getting,
Yeah, okay.
like a pig's ear.
Oh, it is just big
Coles,
bucks.
it's like
Yeah.
more than like what I would pay for a pig's ear.
Okay, well, is it more expensive than meat that a human would eat?
No, like
Okay.
human meat is still. I got was it 600 grams of chicken yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and it was $20, but I got it marked down to $9, and I was so excited because the chicken was so cheap and nice. And then I made butter chicken, but I skipped putting the cream in because I wanted it to be a bit healthier, and it was very spicy, but enjoyable. I would say. I like spice. Not still nowhere near as spicy as that place in Melbourne when you got the spicy chicken tenders.
We're going back, and I'm getting the spicier.
What was it called? The Sex Panther.
Sex Panther. That's right.
But the one that we had, because it wasn't on the menu, Sex Panther, was it?
No, Sex Panther. Yeah, that's their secret spice level.
Yeah, because we asked at the end, "Oh, do you have this?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got Sex Panther," and I'm like, "Fucking hell, that's
Yeah, I won't forget that.
No, that is a name, but yeah, even that, like, their spiciest one on the menu, even that was like, we all had like a nibble. You ate all of it.
Yeah.
That was impressive, but I was struggling. I was dying.
Yeah, I was reaching the end of my budget for that trip, so I wanted the spicy thing, but I couldn't. Like, I wanted to get a normal thing and then a spicy thing on the side.
Yeah.
I'll do that next time we go there. But all I ate was that spicy thing, and it was really nice. It tasted like, okay, I've had a habanero before. I think it was a habanero.
Yeah.
No, not even that. It was like a scorpion pepper.
Scorpion pepper.
Yeah, and it's up there near the Carolina Reaper, I'm pretty sure. And
Yeah.
it didn't taste nice. It just tasted chemically, and it hurt here a lot in your throat. And like,
I just think some of those like real like
it was just painful.
like the one chip challenge.
Yeah,
They don't taste nice.
No.
It's like chemical spice.
It is a
It's
chemical
like spice
spice.
for the sake of spice.
Yeah, but that thing I had was as spicy, and but it tasted
nice. That's what you need. If the spice tastes good, it's worth it
good. Indeed.
at that point. But then
Yeah, and I'm getting Sex Panther, and I'm feeding it to all the boys.
Sex Panther.
They're all gonna die. I'm gonna get really sweaty again.
That bit of the was it tenders?
Yeah.
That bit of the tender, I remember doing stuff to my stomach. I was struggling on that toilet. That toilet got abused.
That's what. Yeah, it did.
Well, because we were drinking. Because there was also a place in Melbourne where it was $10 for 2 beers.
What were they? They weren't. They were pints. Or those schooners.
I would say schooner because a pint.
They were
is
tall
bigger.
and thin, so I guess they're
Yeah, so I'd say pints, and like
There's
that's
this nice Sapporo beer
and it was
on
like
tap.
it was. I was just drinking so
like
much of it,
drinking.
and I was my excrement was like just black and liquidy. Like I wasn't eating. It was a boys' trip, so we weren't
It was a
eating
boys'
well. And we were drinking and going out every night.
And we kept being like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the gym while we're here. There's a gym right down the road."
And we bought Weet-Bix. It's like we're gonna eat Weet-Bix in the morning.
Eat Weet-Bix. I ate my Weet-Bix. It was really, we were in a crappy hotel.
And then you made.
So like the utensils to actually eat Weet-Bix in the morning, it was very limited. I made a cup. We had to eat them with a cup.
Oh yeah, we didn't have bowls. Did we have spoons? Oh, we had little teaspoons.
We had tiny teaspoons for making coffee, and we had it in this tiny cup that was not at all helpful.
Yeah, so
eating.
You could eat like one Weet-Bix at a time. Weet-Bix at a time. It just wasn't enjoyable. Then I remember someone may have boiled water, put it in a cup.
That was me.
Didn't trust the tap water and then called it refugee water.
That was me. It's the refugee water. It went in cups and bottles and went in the fridge, and it was very revitalizing in the morning.
And then we ended up buying bottled water, but we put the boiled water in cups in the fridge, and then someone put Korean fried chicken in the fridge as well.
Oh my god!
So
you didn't know. Okay, you put this potent bowl. It had a lid on it. The lid did nothing.
Yeah, the lid did.
Like the smell of the spices, it just the fridge.
Into the water.
We could go back. It's been a year. We could go, and the fridge would probably still smell like the Korean fried chicken. Like they could clean out.
Oh, I don't think they clean their fridges there.
No, but like, say you do, you pull the fridge out, you clean out the condenser, whatever, the drip tray, whatever. I don't know. You clean it all out. It will still smell like it was so strong that the water. It ended up making the water taste like the Korean chicken. That's crazy.
But it was enjoyable. The Korean fried chicken was really good.
Yeah, and not even everyone got to go to that.
Okay. Well, you guys are still at the concert.
Yeah, we finished the concert. You guys were done with it.
Yeah, we left early because so it's gonna sound. It was Post Malone and then Red Hot Chili Peppers. Mm-hmm. To sound blasphemous, we did leave Red Hot Chili Peppers early, me and my mate. I really enjoy them, but they weren't playing their old stuff.
They weren't playing their best.
And then they were just playing their new songs, which I don't really care about. And then when they went like, "Oh, we'll play some of our old stuff," they didn't remember the words. Just fair enough. Yeah. Pretty old at that point, but these are some of the biggest songs. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. And me and my mate left early. Like, it wasn't that much earlier than when they finished. Maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, we ended up, yeah. It was just a little, you skipped like 2 or 3 songs from the end.
Yeah, and then, so me and my mate, like, walking through the streets of Melbourne. This was like 11. It's pretty late.
It was late.
And we got lost on the way back to the hotel. And we're like, oh, we're hungry. So we just kept on walking. We just found this little Korean fried chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
It's really good. Still open. It was open till maybe like 5 a.m. from what I saw. And no one in there spoke English.
Yeah, it was authentic.
It was authentic. And the tables were tiny. And they were looking at me and my friend, like these 2 white guys just in there. They were looking at us like zoo animals. But the food was delicious. It was so good. And me and my mate both got incredibly drunk there.
We were all like, oh, that's cool. We'll have to go next time. Because we were all jealous.
Yeah, they were jealous of what we experienced.
Because what they brought home smelled so nice. I was like, damn, that store must be insane to sit inside of. It must smell so strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable. Like that trip to Melbourne was so good.
I think we're coming up on our hour.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before we close out? Or?
Well, I don't really have anything.
Okay, well, anyway, that was our first go at the podcast. I reckon it went good.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of a good tangent podcast.
I think good. I think once we got in the flow of what we were talking about, it was good.
Yeah.
But the transitions between subtopics were a bit like the first transition was a bit
better at it.
Get better at that. But
yeah, so we're going to look at putting this up. I'm assuming you'll be able to find it wherever you find your podcast.
Yeah, if people are listening to this.
If anyone... I know Will's listening to it. Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
Will, you need to text me and Fuzzy that you heard us say this, or else we don't believe that...
Yeah. We're just going to say we put it up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and if you skip before we finish, fake fan.
Fake fan, yeah.
Fake fan.
You're not one of the boys.
Anyway, thanks for listening. That was episode 1 of Prime Meats. Catch yous next time.
See ya.